Hi, my name is Wojciech Kempa, so please call me Kempa. Call me Wojtek, and I am the manager in Accenture and responsible for the now Azure team, the development on the Azure platform. But not that's all. So for the 11 years in the IT, I am also responsible for the digital transformation. And today I would like to tell you about how it works in practice. And the question is, so yeah, I think that it's already done, so we can start. And yeah, to be honest, guys, so when I started thinking about it, so the girls from the marketing team asked me about the topic for the presentation for this conference. And you know, I had this topic in the mind for a few years, and when I was started working in IT and on the digital transformation topic, it seems that it's a very complex one. So unfortunately, we are not able to go a little bit so much deeper to this topic today, because probably the half of hour is not enough, and we need more time definitely, and probably we would be able to talk about it whole day. But today we'll be focused only on the first phase, how it's designed, what is behind the digital transformation, and who is involved to the process. It's very important for us just to see what is the relationship between the business and technology itself. So I think that we can start. We are after lunchtime, so we are full of power, and I hope that the presentation wouldn't be the background to fall asleep. So let's start. And yes, so from the beginning. Oh, sorry. If it's no problem, I will be walking as well. So, do you know what is the goal of the business? Because it's the main thing and the starting point for the discussion of the digital transformation. Any ideas? Yeah? But let's say in general it's just the profit. It's just the profit, and we need to keep in mind that the most important thing of the digital transformation is just to bring the profit to the organization. It can be the public one, it can be the commercial one, never mind, it will be the profit. And why it's so important? Because from the technology perspective, we can also propose the most advanced technologies and solutions, but without delivering the business value and the profit to the business, unfortunately, technology is useless. And we will see how to do it, because it doesn't mean that technology is not important. Definitely. It's so important, and it can give the very big value to the business itself. So let's see how it works. So how technology can help business? And I will tell you that based on my experience, I saw lots of projects, and digital transformation process is complex, and it takes not days, not months, but years. And I hope that we will have some time, so let's start from the theory, and I will tell you some practice examples. I will tell you about it, how it works in the real life. So first of all, how we can achieve it. So by reducing the costs, optimizing business processes, and get new clients. So what does it mean? So reduce costs from the technology perspective. Okay, we can say that, okay, we are going to close the data center and move all the resources and the IT infrastructure to the cloud. But the question is if it's enough, and maybe we are able to do more. So then let's go to the point number 2. Optimizing business processes. So what does it mean? It means that the digital transformation is not only moving the resources to the cloud, or maybe just to automate some business processes in the organization. So it's also the great time just to make the review of the existing, sorry, I'm too loud or? Okay. Okay, so it's also a good time to make a review of the business processes in the organization and then decide if they are still up to date, or maybe some of them are useless and we can just close them. And then, for example, we can release some resources and move them, for example, to get new clients or just to prepare the new offer and just to, as we said in the beginning, bring the profit to the organization. And how to achieve the goal? So how to make digital transformation happen and how we can achieve the points which we mentioned in the previous slide. So from the beginning, and just to clarify one thing, so those lists, that list which I showed you before, it's not the complete one. So we only focus on the 3 scenarios and how we can achieve the goal based on them. Okay, so each digital transformation in general based on 3 phases. So first it's the review business processes. The second one is review application portfolio. And then when we will collect the data like this, we'll be able to design migration strategy. And migration strategy is the technology part, and digital transformation is the business model. Just keep in mind that it will be important for us later. So let's see what is inside. So let's start from the review business processes. Why it's so important in digital transformation for the organization? As I said in the beginning, so it's the best time just to review how the organization works inside and just to see if we're able to optimize the processes by release the resources or maybe optimize business processes to be more effective. So let's see to this slide. So in general, when we are thinking about the design, digital technology design and the migration to the cloud, for example, so when we are people from the technology, the technical ones, so probably we are focused on the products, on the technology solutions, how we can resolve the problem or the business need. But it's a little bit more complex because, as I said in the beginning, the most important thing is just to bring the value to the business, so just to bring the profit. So we can see that to the digital transformation, 3 groups are involved. So first of all, the stakeholders, and stakeholders group represent the business. So it contains leadership, it contains management, employees, and it's represented by the key users. So this group knows how the business works, what are the business processes, and which technologies and which applications are already in use in the organization just to deliver the goal. Local technology is just the group inside the organization as well, and this is the group which already has the knowledge about IT infrastructure, business processes, and also how it works. So it also knows the application portfolio and the stakeholders, so business needs and how business works inside. And of course, the last one, so the consulting, so please give me a second, so I hope that... No, but it's not a problem. So let's say that the last one is just the consulting. And to be honest, it's not only the group which is delivered by the, for example, external vendor. So it can be the hybrid model and also contains the people from the organization. And it's also, this group is very important during the digital transformation just to drive and implement the whole digital transformation in the organization. How it's done? It's done during the workshops and using the techniques like design thinking and prototyping. And the output of this phase is just to prepare the list of the business processes in the organizations, who is involved to it, and what is the application portfolio with the dependencies. it will be very important for us just to go to the phase 2, which is called Review Application Portfolio. And yeah, today morning, I had some discussions about it, how it works, and what is the application portfolio inside. And I remember that someone told me a very interesting thing. It's true, and I think that everyone knows that, but when you will say it loud, it seems that, okay, we have the application portfolio, and lots of people think that, okay, we can't change something because business is not interested in that, or we can't do it because of the business needs. It's not the case of the digital transformation. So it's totally different. So the goal of the digital transformation is just to bring the value based on the technology. And the review application portfolio is the step, it's the phase where we are able to do it. So there's the picture of the dependencies in, let's say, one of the organizations. And each icon represents the application, let's say. So for example, we have financials, we have the retail, we have the legal, mobile apps, some data, reports, and the products. And as you can see, we have lots of dependencies between them. And it works in each organization the same. And of course, there's the very simple picture, but in the real life, it looks like a spider web. And what is the goal now? It's just to remove so many dependencies as we can. Just to simplify the application portfolio. And the question is, what is the reason in a very, I don't want to say old-fashioned, but in an organization which business has more than 10, 20 years. So what is the reason that we have so many dependencies? And the reason is that the business is changed all the time. And we need to deliver the value and also modify the infrastructure just to deliver the business value. And what is the reason why we have so many dependencies? Because if we have the custom business processes, then we need the custom development. And it worked in the past like this. And how we can achieve that? How we can manage it? So, of course, we have lots of possibilities. And we can use, for example, the migration strategies, like, I don't know, IaaS, PaaS, or SaaS. We can just think about it, which platform we can propose to the client to simplify some business processes. As the example, I will give you, it's a success story and it's based on my experience. So one of the companies was responsible for selling the product. And each invoice had the specific number. And the number was very specific and custom only for this company. And when company was looking for the solution on the market, it was not able to do it. So the first thing was what vendor said, okay, we can deliver you the solution, but you need to change your business process just to use, for example, the ISO norm just to prepare the invoice number in the correct way. So as you can see, it doesn't mean that when we want to improve or optimize the business process, we need to do it only based on the business needs. We can also propose something because then we can remove some of the dependencies by one product and then extra value will be added as well to the organization, and we will be able also to get, for example, get new clients or just to offer the new services. Okay, and when the application portfolio is already done, we know what dependencies we have and how we can manage them. So it's a time just to prepare the migration strategy. And there's the last I think the last step of the digital transformation in general, and then we are able to propose the solution for each business area to the organization and how it can be managed. So let's see to the diagram. So as you remember, we had the same application set, the same application portfolio on the previous slide, but with the lots of the dependencies, lots of lines. And now you can see that it looks a little bit clear, and it doesn't mean that we don't have the dependencies. Of course, they are but behind. And what is the result of that? You can see that it's called a cloud environment, but the dependencies, it's not the application set. It's like the set of the services which are available for the business just to deliver the business value. And we need to change the mindset of the organization. And from this point, our goal is just to go to this one, just to think about the services instead of the applications. And then the business and the technology is working together. So, yeah, I think that's all about the digital transformation in practice. It's a very general way, but if you're interested in more details, so you're welcome, and please ask me the questions. So even offline, I will be also available after the speech. So thank you.
Thank you. So team, we have like extra 10 minutes to ask the questions. So if you have any, go ahead. They don't have to be nice. They don't have to be easy. So go ahead. We have a couple of people in here, so anyone? Sorry, I'm sorry.
Thanks. Do you remember any specific challenges you faced during any digital transformation you were part of?
Yeah, I hope that you can hear me. So yeah, I will tell you one thing. So I participated in one of the projects, and it was let's say 5 years ago. It started 10 years ago, and we were responsible for merging two companies to the one, two global companies with the subsidiaries all around the world to the one company. The reason was that one of the companies bought the another one. And what was a challenge, right? Not the migration, merging the companies. It's totally, how to say? Because it doesn't mean that there is one solution to resolve the issue, right? And for example, in this case, we had two companies, and both of them had different business processes and had also different technology stack. And the goal was just to merge them together. But it doesn't mean that we have the only solution. So based on the experience of one company and the another one, we were able to take all the best from both of them and then prepare the solution for the whole organization, not only migrate the business processes and the technology stack to the new one. So it was the challenge, because you can see, before we start the digital transformation process like this, just to clean up and optimize the processes, we had to make the review of the business processes and application portfolio on both sides. And then we started thinking about how to merge them and how to propose to the business the best approach to work together.
Any other questions? Okay. No, okay, I will be not lying. I will not run. Sorry. Anyway, go ahead.
Skip the gym this week. From your experience, is it more difficult or maybe more time-consuming to change the mindset of the people in the organization in such digital transformation, or the technology part is more difficult? Which one is like more time-consuming?
It depends, of course, because when when we are talking about the digital transformation, it doesn't mean that we are working on whole organization in the same time. So in the first phase, when, for example, organization decided to move to the cloud, is just to choose, for example, cloud provider, right? And then just to prepare like a skeleton for the whole organization. And the best way to do it, based on my experience, of course, is just to choose the organizational unit, which is ready for the change. And then, of course, it depends, because when business processes are very old-fashioned, it's very hard to change the mindset, as you said. But when you have the person on the business side, in the stakeholder group, who is ready for the changes, so this person is also, or this group of people is also able to just to show them new mindset, right? What is the business value which we will get? And it's the same on the technology side. We are only the people, right? So if someone is working on the system from the 20 years, so it's also very hard to say that, okay, now we are going to cloud and everything will be fine. So we need to also have the person somewhere somewhere high in the organization, which will be able to show what is the benefit of the technology and then coach the rest of them what is the benefit for us.
I can add something to that. So there's a bank, I cannot name it, which is doing the kind of this transformation. And the first thing they did, they've gathered 600 people from IT, business, management, top management like the CEO. And what they are doing their readiness sessions on different levels for different purposes. Because as Marcin said in his presentation, as Wojciech said, and this is what I am having on my LinkedIn, for me, cloud is not technology, it's a mindset. And the mindset has to go through the whole org. And with the big org, as Marcin said, with the org which is very good with the on-premise solutions, where we are very good in on-premise solutions, this is not an easy task. So the first thing they are doing is the readiness. And then they are starting to think about the things they want to change in the org. But without the readiness, without the really understanding between the business and the technical people what they want to achieve, at the end, you will not achieve nothing. This is what Marcin said. If you start with the technology and go to the product, it will not work. Actually, Steve Jobs said, start with the need, start with the problem, and design back then to the technology. That's the way to go. And with the people's mindset, I would say it's exactly the same. And frankly speaking, probably sometimes we think about Polish customers that we need to change those mindset in Poland. Come on, guys. Marcin was working in the Australia. And believe me or not, they are not close to what we do in here. Really, at least in the banking space. I was working for French companies, same stuff. Remember the guy from Microsoft coming to Poland and showing me how well PSD2 is working in Poland. I said, before you will present that to PKO BP, because actually this guy was presenting to PKO BP, I will show you something. He said, can we skip my session? So from the banking perspective, I would argue that, United States are like 10 years behind us. Australia, 5, 4, I don't know. But we are on the edge. Okay. Any other questions? Sorry, Wojciech, for taking some time from your time.
Can I add something?
Yeah, go ahead. It's your session. It's your time.
Thank you, Miko. So,
Okay.
just one thing. I remember the story from 5 years ago, or maybe 8. And I remember when cloud started showing on the market, right? And lots of people from the infrastructure started afraid of that. So, okay, I'm the IT infrastructure guy or networking guy, and I have like 20 years of experience. And when the cloud will be implemented into organization, so I will lose a job, right? So it was the mindset. No, you are still important, but you are not able, you won't be responsible for just plugging the cables in the data center. You will be responsible just to for the strategy and just to implement it in the cloud environment.
Okay, just the last one question. Go ahead, please.
I have a question about digital transformation failures.
Yeah?
How to prevent that it's not never-ending story process which we just get into and we don't have any milestone and success at the end. And do you have any, failure scenarios or use cases? And are there any patterns in your career that there are some signs that this digital transformation is going wrong and we have to, go back and start from the beginning or leave it?
Yes, of course. So maybe I will answer this question based on the cloud environment, okay? Because you can see that now now the life is simpler than, for example, 2, 4, or 5 years ago. Because now we have something like a life cycle of the cloud projects, right? But 5 or 10 years ago, it was something like the new for all of us. And now we can, based on the experience which we got on the implementation, what is working, what is not, what is the best way for this client, or maybe not the best for this one, based on the business area or something like this. So we have, and each organization has, something like a strategy for implementation, and also just to make a step back when it's needed. So it's called like this, and each organization has the strategy like this during the implementation. But it's not easy answer on this question because it's based on the business and client, unfortunately.